Every day I wake up, wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Start off with sports. Now, last night, of course, football is back. Let's get to week one. The Commanders beat the Giants 21-6. The Jaguars beat the Panthers 26-10. Colts beat the Dolphins 33-8. The Chargers beat the Chiefs 27-21. The Steelers beat the Jets 34-22. Cardinals beat the Saints 20-13. Buccaneers beat the Falcons 23-20. Raiders beat the Patriots 20-13. Broncos beat the Titans 20-12. Rams beat the Texans 14-9. Packers beat the Lions 27-13. The Bills barely beat the Ravens 41-40. They actually came back. Bengals beat the Browns 17-16. And lastly, the 49ers beat the Seahawks 17-13.
I didn't hear the Giants score.
I said it. That was the first one I said.
Say it again?
Nope, I said it.
Yeah,
if you missed it, it's not my
I told
fault.
you stop running your damn mouth acting like my Cowboys was going to be the only team in the NFC East that sucks this year.
Well, the two sucky teams are playing next week.
I told you already that the Giants and the Cowboys are going to be looking up at the Eagles and Redskins all year long.
Well, the two sucky teams play next week. What's up, Mimi?
What's up, y'all? Good morning. Happy Monday.
Good morning, Mimi.
Good morning. We start this morning in Chicago, where Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker is blasting President Trump as a wannabe dictator after Trump shared an AI-generated image over the weekend showing himself as a law enforcement officer with Chicago burning in the background. Now, the image, it was captioned, "I love the smell of deportations in the morning."
Dang.
Chicago about to find out why it's called the Department of War. Now, this post comes just one day after Trump signed an executive order renaming the Defense Department to the Department of War. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, he called the post beneath the honor of our nation and warned that Trump wants to occupy our city and break our Constitution. He already signed a protective order, Mayor Johnson did, to block any unapproved federal troop deployment. Now, Pritzker, he is echoing that, saying Trump is threatening to go to war with an American city and vowing Illinois will not be intimidated. On Sunday, Trump tried to downplay that backlash, telling reporters, "We are not going to war. We're going to clean up our cities." That's not war. That's common sense. However, his border chief, Tom Homan, told CNN that Chicago should absolutely expect enforcement action this week. Let's listen to that.
Absolutely. You can expect action in most sanctuary cities across the country. President Trump's prioritized sanctuary cities because sanctuary cities knowingly release illegal alien public safety threats to the streets every day. That's where the problem is. We don't have that problem in Florida, where every sheriff and chief works for us, right? Or Texas. So we got to send additional resources to the problem areas, which are sanctuary cities.
Yeah, I'm not the highest grade of weed in the dispensary, but if you're saying that you want to go into these cities and clean up, illegal immigration, that's one thing. But to declare war,
that's crazy.
Or imply that you're declaring war on the city, you can't be upset when people have backlash to that.
No.
Exactly. And, there's been some backlash or some confusion over who does what. So the National Guard does not arrest immigrants. ICE agents, immigration enforcement does. But with all the talk of sending in the guards, a lot of people are asking if it's for crime or if it's to arrest illegal aliens. And so the governor, J.B. Pritzker, he spoke to MSNBC this weekend about the role of the National Guard and what they can and cannot do. Let's listen to that.
They are not allowed to do law enforcement. They can come into the city, but they are restricted essentially to federal buildings, protecting federal buildings. If that's what they intend to do, that is legal. But they're not allowed to simply come into the neighborhoods and start, imposing their will.
So Pritzker went on to say that ICE presence in Chicago is already surging, with local officials warning that as many as 300 agents may already be in the city. ICE and other federal teams are expected to operate out of a naval station called Great Lakes for about 30 days. Over the weekend, protesters gathered outside that base to protest the expected immigration crackdown. And switching gears to Washington, D.C., where Republicans are stepping up their crackdown on Washington, D.C. They're rolling out 14 new bills aimed at tightening federal control as part of President Trump's crime initiative on the nation's capital. But some of the proposals are drawing sharp criticism. Among the most controversial bills is one that would give Congress veto power over local laws by requiring every D.C. council bill to undergo a 60-day congressional review before it can take effect. Another would lower the age for juveniles to be tried as adults from 16 to 14 for violent crimes. And a third would repeal the Incarceration Reduction Act, which currently allows people convicted of serious crimes as minors to request lighter sentences after serving at least 15 years. Now, local leaders in D.C. are calling this a power grab. They say that the crime in D.C. has already dropped by 50% over the last 2 years. D.C. Attorney General Brian Schwab, he is suing the Trump administration over the National Guard deployment. He's arguing that the federal government is policing the city without local consent. And over the weekend, thousands of protesters, they took to the streets in D.C. to rally against Trump's federal crackdowns. The demonstration was called We Are All D.C. It was aimed at sending a clear message that residents won't tolerate what they see as a militarized takeover. Meanwhile, that guard deployment that began on August 11th, it has been extended to November 30th. So that is quite a while for them to be in Washington, D.C., guys.
All right. Well, thank you, Mimi.
All right. Well, coming up at 7, if your electric bill keeps climbing, we'll show you what may be behind the spike. That's at 7.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some front page news. Start off with some quick sports. Now, yesterday, the Commanders beat the Giants 21-6. Jaguars beat the Panthers 26-10.
I don't like how you just be breezing past the Giants got their ass busted yesterday. Yeah, you say it real fast in the beginning to try to throw people off. I don't like that.
We lost.
Because, you know, when the Cowboys lose, you be in here cheering. And I told y'all the Giants going to suck. By the way, God bless Sierra. Sierra, I told you your prayers wasn't going to work for the Giants. When she was here, I told her that.
She was
It's only one game.
looking good yesterday,
Okay.
too. I wonder if she was nervous.
It's only one game. The Bills beat the Ravens 41-40. Packers beat the Lions 27-13. Rams beat the Texans 14-9. Broncos beat the Titans 20-12. Raiders beat the Patriots 20-13. Buccaneers beat the Falcons 23-20. Cardinals beat the Saints. The Steelers beat the Jets 34-32. 49ers beat the Seahawks. And tonight in Monday Night Football, the Vikings take on the Bears at 8:15. What's up, Mimi?
What's up? Good morning. Good morning, Lauren.
Good morning, Mimi.
Good morning. All right, so the race for New York City mayor, it may be erupting into political chaos with President Donald Trump trying to reshape the field, and Democrats are deeply divided, and progressive nominee Zohran Mamdani fighting to hold the party together ahead of the general election in November. Now, this all started back in June when Mamdani, a 33-year-old Democratic socialist and state assemblyman, pulled off a stunning upset, defeating former Governor Andrew Cuomo by 12 points in the Democratic primary. But instead of uniting behind him, many top Democrats are refusing to endorse him, including Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, both from New York. Now, tensions are escalating after reports surfaced that President Trump's aides have quietly been pressuring candidates to drop out, including current mayor, Eric Adams, who's running for re-election. Now, according to multiple reports, Trump's team, they're floating the idea of offering Adams an ambassadorship or another high-profile role if he exits the race. Now, that move would clear the path for Cuomo, who is running as an independent. At a press conference late last week, Mayor Adams, he denied that he is dropping out of the race. Let's hear what he had to say.
Andrew Cuomo is a snake and a liar. I am in this race, and I'm the only one that can beat Mamdani. Andrew has had a career of pushing black candidates out of races. That must stop with me. I'm running, and I'm going to beat Mamdani. And I'm going to continue the success that this city has witnessed.
Well, despite that clear message, sources have revealed that Mayor Adams is scheduled to be in Washington this week for a White House sit-down. Now, again, this all comes amid swirling speculation that President Trump, his team, is considering offering him a predominant role, something like ambassador to Saudi Arabia or a position in housing and urban development. Meanwhile, Mamdani. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Mimi, I don't think Adams or Cuomo What's his name? Curtis Stilwell. That's his name.
Sliwa.
Stilwell.
I don't think any of them can beat Mondani if the race is currently the way that it is, because all
too
three of
divided.
them are going to split the vote.
Yeah, that's what's happening. It's too divided.
Now, if it's Adams and Mondani head up, or Cuomo and Mondani head up, more so Cuomo, I think Cuomo would win. But if with all three of them in the race, no. They're not going to beat Mondani. Yeah.
So I think that's why they're trying to pull out Adams, right, so that they can center the votes on Cuomo. And then this weekend, Bernie Sanders and AOC, they had a rally. They're trying to get folks behind Mondani. It was in Brooklyn, and they said the Democrats are sending the wrong message by staying silent. And we're also talking about Governor Kathy Hochul. She has met with Mondani multiple times, but she hasn't endorsed him either. So the progressives are calling on those top Democrats to get behind him. They're saying it only strengthens Trump's influence and positions, like you just said, Cuomo as a comeback kid. So we'll see what happens. And so if your electricity bill has gone up lately, you are not imagining it. Power prices, they are climbing faster than almost anything else that you're paying for, and it's shaping up to be a major political fight ahead of the election season. Now, according to the latest Consumer Price Index, electricity prices have jumped 5.5% in the past year, double the rate of inflation, and experts say the rising bills are about to become a hot button issue for voters. Now, back in October of 2024, President Trump, he promised, at the time he was a candidate, but he promised to slash the electricity bills by 50%. So that was almost a year ago. Let's remind ourselves of what he had to say back then.
We will also cut energy and electricity prices in half, 50% within 12 months, including for all people and families, not just companies. So ready? Your energy bill will be cut from January 20th, will be cut by 50% in 12 months, okay? 50%.
So that was back in October of 2024, but so far prices are moving in the opposite direction, and experts say Trump's own policies could be making things worse. His administration has cut subsidies for wind and solar energy, fast-tracked construction of power-hungry AI data centers, and pushed exports of U.S. natural gas overseas, and that means less supplies here at home, driving prices higher. The Democrats, they are seizing on the issue, blaming Trump for what they call an energy crisis. And energy experts say the full impact, though, of this, the policies, they haven't hit yet. Electricity tends to rise with lag. So as fossil fuels are exported and less renewable energy gets built, consumers could see even steeper bills in the coming months. But for now, both parties are pointing fingers, and many of the households, many consumers are left to fit that bill with no relief in sight. So we'll keep watching that. And finally, you all, we have a Powerball winner. Actually, we have two Powerball winners, one in Texas and one in Missouri. So they will split that grand prize, I think $410 million each.
Oh, wow. Nice. Congrats to them.
Yeah. So the ticket in Texas was sold about 25 miles out of Kerr County. Now, if you remember, Kerr County was that place where they had that massive flooding back in July where 120 people passed away. So each person, though, like I said, will take away $410 million. And if you're hoping for a big press conference with everyone carrying their checks, don't hold your breath, because both in Texas and in Missouri, you can remain anonymous.
Very smart individuals.
That's right.
Very smart individuals. God bless them. I hope that they remain anonymous and they understand financial literacy and they live some very fruitful lives. Because, people be going crazy after they win those big lotteries like that.
They sure do. So, well, that's your front page news. I am Mimi Brown. Follow me on social at Mimi Brown TV. And for more coverage, follow the Black Information Network or download the free iHeartRadio app. And, of course, visit BINnews.com.
Thank you, Mimi.
Hold up. Every day I wake up, wake your ass up. The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?